sure to get at, everyone. Copy all that for the tweet. He's a quiet one. Yeah, I was referring to you. You were being quiet.
Yes, I was letting you do your thing.
I mean, you're not allowed to talk, period.
It's not a podcast, huh?
And of course, you come back. It's totally not a podcast.
We'll change that.
Totally not a podcast. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone, welcome to the podcast, Mana and Friends.
No, if I were to make this like an actual podcast, I would literally name it Totally Not a Podcast, all one word.
I love it.
Cough, totally not a podcast, cough.
Exactly. Although I do say it's kind of not a podcast, but it's totally not a podcast. Hello, Jinder. Hello, Nox. How are you?
What are you two planning on doing?
We're in Final Fantasy 14, partly because I literally forgot I wanted to stream today and didn't know what else to do. And we just beat Melania together in Elden Ring.
Victory.
Chaz, please stop screaming.
Jared is very happy about his accomplishment. I landed the final blow.
Yes. I did help with my Kamehameha, though.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times Kamehameha.
Chazzy bug, no screaming. No being mad.
So, question, Mana, spear, dagger, longsword, or rapier? For what I was wielding against her? Guts' greatsword. That's my answer to that question. I know it's not an option, but that's my answer.
Jimmy.
Oh, for Makai version of Mana. Longsword.
Very confident answer you gave there.
Absolutely. Totally.
It was the most confident answer I've heard all week.
That's surprising.
The worst part is I can almost actually believe her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hang around many confident people. Oh,
Which is both
speaking
a
of...
blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
So, I told you that I had passed both of my classes with a B, right?
Right.
So, I checked in to see that my grades were posted today,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them showed up as an A. And I went, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Was it graded on a curve?
So the final grade was an A, and I logged into my class to be like, okay, how did you get this?
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that there is something that I just chose to not do, so I got a 0 on it, that she was just like, I'm not going to count it against you, and just wrote it out of the grade book.
Hell yeah! Gotta love it when that happens.
Woo!
I was like, wow, obviously you weren't confident in the rest of your grades because you were worried I'd dispute this. She's not the first teacher to have done that, though.
Naturally not. God, that makes me want to like check my grades, because I know my networking concepts class grade final is an 89. Just shy of an A-.
No, I was clearing my throat. I'm not that scary, though.
And
Also, congrats.
I'm pretty sure I'm still going to pass my Intro to Python class somewhere in the mid-90s, mostly because like I turned everything in and did all the cool stuff like a cool kid, because I'm totally a cool kid, and cool kids do all of their stuff, all their homework.
Yep, that's the coolest cool kid thing I've ever heard.
Right? Totally.
So I guess that means I'm not a kid then.
Wow!
To be fair, though, she gave me a free pass so I could skip it.
No, those are the best teachers. Like, letting you have grades that they will drop because you skipped out on them. Actually, my networking concepts teacher did that, and I took full advantage of that by skipping 2 discussions, but only one of them got dropped, so one of them still a 0.
Oh well.
I saved my whole free passes and skipped like 2/3 of this final 2 weeks of all my assignments.
I mean, hell yeah, you know?
Yeah. Happy I did it. Biology sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm watching your stream, by the way. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, crafting is what it looks like.
Basically, what I'm doing is I'm doing custom deliveries. Which, if you want to level up some of your crafters, it gives a buttload of experience if you can max out the collectability of the custom delivery that you make. But if you're like me, who's already got like a level 80 crafter and all your gatherers level 80, you can also use it to get the current, or level 90 rather, the current scripts, which are purple.
And what do the scripts do?
Crafting or gathering currency.
Got it.
It's a nice way to unwind after the stress that was Melania.
To say the least, I think we made 10 rounds against her, and the 10th final round that we were going to do for the night was the one where we won.
Nice.
Yes. And Mana didn't disconnect because internet stupidity.
Although, if I did, with at the point where I would have disconnected by the very end, I think you would have won.
Maybe. I've gotten her that low before. Totally messed it up.
Seriously, though, that one technique, the swallows dance, utter bullshit.
I'm gonna have nightmares of that.
The worst part is people are online defending her design as toxic as fuck Dark Souls and Elden Ring players are wont to do. But it's so pitiful based on how they are like making the effort to.
Because people, when they really, really love something, are very, very sensitive to criticism of that thing.
You know how
They shouldn't be.
I was gonna say, you know how if you truly love something, you will actually critique it.
Yeah.
The only qualifier is you need to be able to learn it. And I did learn it. It's still bullshit. God, the fact that she can, like, literally answer a normal attack by using that ability is so stupid.
Don't you dare.
Yes. Or unless you're like me, and every time I go for a crit, that's immediately what she responds with.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. I hate it. I hate everything about her.
I mean, like, as a character concept, it's a good idea.
Oh yeah, no. Like,
Combat-wise, bleh.
there's a lot about her boss fight that I appreciate and enjoy, and then there's a lot about her boss fight that I wish would go die in a hole.
I'll drink to that. Take a sip water.
I was gonna say, you don't actually drink though. I know you.
No. If anything, I'd be the person to drink, like, the bottle of French vanilla syrup just to look like it.
Heh,
Oh my god.
it's too much sugar.
Believe it or not, I've done it before, and I was like, okay then.
So I think it's something about you, Mana, because every time I'm in chat with you the past, like, couple weeks, the birds have gone fucking nuts and won't leave me alone. But when I'm not in Discord call with you, they are chill. I forgot they were even in the room. But then I got back in Discord with you, and they're all over the place,
And they're like, beep.
biting my ears and being terrors.
Burbs like Mana.
The burbs do like me, apparently. The burbs do like me, apparently.
They want attention. Like, notice us, Mana.
To notice us! And I'm all like, I do, because your mom doesn't stop talking about you.
Never.
Like, it's hard to ignore the burbs. The burbs are good burbs.
And that's the best way to be a pet owner.
Never stop talking about your pets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even when they drive you up the wall.
I mean, I gush on and on about my cat, just not to you guys.
Why?
Because it never seemed topical?
So, cats are good. I like hearing about cats.
I mean, he is fluffy and he is absolutely adorable.
Yeah. Sounds like
As
a cat.
all good cats should be.
As all good cats should be.
And yes, that does mean that I'm saying hairless cats can't be good.
Wow.
Oh, or hairless kitties. I mean, honestly, I don't mind them. Like, sure, they're a little unnerving just because they look different than what you expect a cat to be, but
Don't actually mind them at all.
I think my biggest worry is if I were to ever get one, I'd be scared to pet it in case, I rubbed the skin wrong.
I suppose.
They don't have really more sensitive skin than you and I. They're pretty comparable, actually, so it'd be kind of hard to hurt them by just petting.
Mhm.
Good to know.
Like, you would have to, like, make an effort, I would imagine. It'd be like worrying about petting a human wrong.
Well, I've never petted a human, so...
You mean to tell me you never pet yourself?
No.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what that would entail either.
Oh. Oh. I don't know why that killed Sage so badly. But it also kind of killed me, and I think I understand why it killed me at least.
I'm kind of lost at this point. I'm just laughing because everyone else is laughing.
Good. It's good that you're lost. Keep your innocence.
keep your innocence.
Oh, okay then.
Oh God, the more I push it, the more I'm like, Mia's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Mia will hear these exploits and be all like, all right, where is he? You'll like, don't tell her where I
She'll
am.
be mad enough to be like, I'm gonna book a flight to Boise and then book a flight to wherever the fuck you are.
Oh God.
I can never remember the name of that city.
It's the capital of Michigan.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I remember it. I failed geography when we were studying U.S. geography, so.
I mean, U.S. geography is kind of dumb. World geography is where it's at.
It is. I can attest to that.
I don't think they teach it well.
Yeah,
I
no,
legitimately don't.
they don't.
I've learned more about geography playing Crusader Kings than I ever did in any of my schooling.
That says a ton about our like education system, kind of.
Well, I think a lot of topics are taught really poorly.
I think, honestly, people give, video games not enough credit when it comes to history and stuff like that, because the people who make the video games do research on that stuff so that they can avoid people hating on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nowadays, it's become more of a thing. Because, ow, Kane, why are you biting me? Why? What the fuck? Because if you look back in the 90s and such, they didn't give as much of a fuck.
Yeah,
But nowadays they do. Well, yeah, you're right, that is the 90.
It's kind of
Major
consequence. Major.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're not wrong. Though I will say it's especially infuriating with how we are taught languages in school, because good lord, it's useless. Because I think it would be far more valuable to learn how to communicate with someone than it is to learn how a language functions.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you think back to school, if you took Spanish, German, whatever, they start by, teaching you the alphabet and then teaching you a few simple basic words that don't get you very far.
Yeah.
And then they start focusing on conjugation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I tell you something in Spanish and I conjugate it wrong, you'll probably still understand what I said, even if it comes across weird. But
Right.
you still got the message.
Right.
Mhm. Especially because, like, if it's not your natural language, people aren't going to expect you to be absolutely perfect in it.
And if they do, they're unreasonable.
Exactly. I mean,
You're right that it does depend, Genra. I'll give you that. There are some languages and some things that are conjugated weirdly, where the message would fall flat. Like if we're talking tonal languages like Chinese, then obviously this doesn't matter. And I'm wrong. But if we're talking, more Western languages, which are more commonly taught in school, such as German, Spanish, even Italian, and Latin. Thank you. Yeah, if you mess up subject, that can cause some problems. But conjugating wrong, like if you say didn't speak English and walked up to me and were like, hey, where store is, I'd have an idea of what you meant. And for most Western languages, that still exists. So I think that as far as when teaching languages, it's more important to teach words and give an idea of how those words connect, right? You teach sentence structure and conjugation when it matters, not focusing so purely on it that, like, when I took German back in high school, like, half of my final was how to conjugate different words. And I'm sorry, German, you don't need to conjugate very well. Like, now that I speak it more, like, I can tell you what people are saying even if they fuck up their conjugation, because it doesn't matter as much. It's the sentence structure that matters. And that comes with practice and talking in it.
mm-hmm.
Homo.
I mean, I feel as though, like, going off of what you said, languages, you should learn a lot, or at least a majority of the words, like you're saying, and then, like, in later classes, like, only once you've taken it for at least a few years do they start teaching you conjugation and stuff like that.
I don't quite agree with that, because, and actually, like, I took Latin, and you could... You're not wrong. Latin is kind of its own beast. Latin especially is really tricky when it comes to that sort of thing. But, I don't think that conjugation is something you can totally leave out, but the problem I have with it, how it's taught, is the emphasis that's put on it, right?
Mm.
Because, like, if you think back to if you took Spanish or any other language, you probably spent a lot of time on certain things like, oh, I want to go shopping, and describing that you want to go shopping, or asking for basic directions, or learning some really basic words. But for the most part, you didn't learn very common words. So if you try to think of, like, a sentence in Spanish of, like, hey, I need to find this, you would probably say it pretty broken. Like, if you need to find a hospital, you probably know the word for hospital, and you could probably emphasize and get help that way. But you wouldn't come across as the most clear, because they don't teach you the most commonly used words.
Like asking where a hospital might be in Japanese. Byoin ga doko desu ka? I'm pretty sure I would want to say wa, not ga there, but, like...
Yeah,
You
it would
would
be
at least
wild.
get the point across.
Yeah.
Like, in either way, they'd probably understand, okay, hospital, and point. They wouldn't be correcting you.
Yeah, it needs to be taught closer to how you teach someone their first language at maybe an accelerated rate. That I fully agree with.
and that's kind of what I'm getting at, because if you think of like how we teach children their first language, like we just, mind you, they don't know a language, so we start by, you know, repeating words at them, getting them to understand meaning by association. You point at their mom and you say mama. You point at their dad and you say papa. And because those words are simple and easy for them to get. But by the time we're at a point where we can learn a second language, you don't need to start so basic and try to get them to associate symbols with, or syllables and sounds with a meaning. We can already do that because we understand it. But starting as like you are teaching a child, you know, and trying to associate the word for tree or the word for dog or the word with cat with an image of those things is really valuable. And starting with your like 100 to 500 most commonly used words in a language. There's actually been a couple people that I've been watching on YouTube that like are language experts. They kind of talk about this and are like, hey, you know, if I were going to advise you on how to like learn X, Y, or Z language, I would just start with the dictionary and Googling what like 100 to 200 words are most commonly spoken, and then adding to your list of words that you commonly use in your day-to-day life. Because that also is contextual depending on your own experience on what words are and are not useful.
That's a good idea. I'll have to remember to do that.
It helped a lot when I was learning German, because now I'm rusty, but I'm mostly conversational. Not fluent by any stretch of the imagination, but I could hold a conversation well enough.
Mm.
You're not wrong on that either, Jinra. Like, English classes are fucking atrocious. I like that path you're adding in there, Mana.
Figured we'd have something that looks like it goes to the front door. Need to go back how we teach the language, period. Maybe. Probably. Probably.
Yeah, how we teach language is one of those things that I happen to know quite a bit about, so I'm very passionate about it. But like even the way we teach like psychology, which is another thing that I'm studying, obviously, that I'm like, why the fuck do we teach it this way? Because it just does not make any sense. There is no like reason for it to be taught this way. Like, why do I need to know that Freud had some really crackpot crazy ideas? And that's why we started with psychology. Like, I don't need to understand that to understand the rest of psychology around it. There is some basis, you know, to understanding where your subject's history lies. Because you can learn something from that history. But, like, I know way too much about Freud for any justifiable reason. There is no reason I should know as much about Freud as I do. Though, the thing that pisses me off about Freud specifically is some of his theories have been weirdly right. And that is just infuriating.
I mean, it's always infuriating when the crazy people are actually right. Let's be honest.
Because it wasn't this last semester, it was the semester before where I think I rambled at you about this, Mana. But there was a couple of his theories that just turned out to be kind of right. They weren't 100% spot on, but they were close enough that it's like, how?
Right. Okay, there we go. A few more furnishings. Mostly just wall hangings that are temporary, more than likely.
Well, I don't know, I kind of like him.
They're cavalry catfish prints.
I want to come check these out now.
I mean, why
Now that
are
I'm
you
done
territorial
thinking,
about my dice?
Because Kane has declared them that they're his dice.
Yeah, she really does think
No.
that it is her dice.
Right. Kane Burb is girl, Chaz is guy.
You can blame Petco for that one.
Darn you, Petco!
Darn you,
'Cause-
Petco.
Yeah, Petco lied to us when we got Kane and was like, "Oh yeah, no, Kane's a girl." Or no, is a boy, sorry. They said Kane is a boy. We have the genetic test to prove it, so he's a boy. And then when we got Chaz, we very quickly found out one of them is not a boy. And the pet store we got Chaz from had already done a genetic test on Chaz and showed us the paperwork. So did a test on Kane, and sure enough, Kane is a girl.
Man. Shame on Petco.
Freud understood roughly how people acted. Was he right in ascribing deeper thought to that? Not much better than a random description, but he still understood the result.
And to some extent, I agree with that. You're not in, like, he wasn't entirely wrong about like the result of things. It's the deeper meaning behind those things that we're now starting to understand is way off. But oh, I know what theory it was that he almost got right. The id, ego, and superego. There is actually a basis in neuroscience now that suggests that that is potentially real, because the common theory that is used in neuroscience is that there is 3 components to your brain that essentially operate as the id, ego, and superego. I forget what terms they use nowadays though, because they don't call it that. Let's see if I can find it, because I wrote a paper on this and how much it infuriated me.
You can buy the rest of the fish off of me. Though I will keep the river sharks. Because they are shark.
Shark. Nom 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 nom.
I shouldn't jump on the koi pond. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, obviously. You gotta land on the rocks next to the koi pond.
Ha. Where I place this retainer bell means that if you approach it from the correct angle, your retainers just spawn on the counter. Oops.
I mean, mine spawned in the counter, so...
Ooh, more general purpose metallic blue dye.
You mean that one thing I've had in inventory for how many months now and still don't know what to do with?
Yeah, because dyeing anything in this is like really odd. Point in case.
Here it is. So the terms used in neuroscience are the unconscious mind, the conscious mind, and the metacognition structures of the mind. Basically, the unconscious mind is your unconscious thoughts. Conscious thoughts are what you're currently thinking. And metacognition is like thinking of how you think. And that's a common theory used in neuroscience today.
God,
that weirdly coincides with the id, ego, and superego.
that sounds like we're getting philosophical. Just all like, this is what you think, this is what you don't realize you're thinking about, and this is you thinking about yourself thinking about things. Like, okay, I didn't know I was gonna get a dose of philosophy today, but all right.
Yeah, it's like that. The class that I learned that in, that was a wild ride of a class.
No, I bet. Oh, I bet. Pod, put your gun away. How dare. How dare you. How dare you draw your weapon inside the building? You're not supposed to do that. Ah! But God, yeah.
Look, I'm a
What?
Skyrim NPC.
So you are. Are you eating an apple?
Yes.
I don't have that emote. What the hell?
What? I have something you don't have? Where did I get that from?
You bought it on the market board.
I didn't. I got it as a quest reward for something.
Has Mana not done every quest?
I know I've done every quest.
Have you, though?
I mean, obviously you haven't. I have this.
I'm glad that I have a keyboard tray to separate my keyboard from the top of my desk, because for some reason Kane is now being defensive of the top of my desk. It is her domain at the moment.
What the flit-doodle sticks?
Oh, I know where I got it from. I got it from the lottery with the
Kupo of Fortune.
Yeah.
That would that would do it. Do it. The mender looked at me like, "Ma'am, I know you're co-owner of this free company, but please get off the desk."
Please stay off the desk.
What about me? She doesn't care about me. She gave me one look and then just looked away.
Just like, the ninja's gonna do what ninjas do. I can't stop that.
Good.
All of our free company NPCs are very professional looking. Even the maid, who is our bartender.
Who, for some reason, sells furniture.
As well as food.
Sell furniture?
Yeah, she sells furniture. Oh, goodness. We should run something. But what? I could do Void Arc or Dunescape, I suppose.
Dunescape is on my Wondrous Tales, so... It'll work for me.
Then get in here.
Oh. We're going to Devil Ninja this? Ooh, this will be fun.
No. See, there's only one ninja. One of us used Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Ah, but which one of us is the original then?
Obviously you, Jared.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm pretty sure the correct answer is Mitchell.
Gee, thanks, Sage.
Mana? Who's Mana? No, that's totally Jared's Shadow Clone.
Wait, are you saying my split personality actually became real?
Oh, God.
Not only is your split personality real, it's gotten to the point where you have two Discord accounts sitting in the same server to talk to me, and one of them is trying to be a streamer.
That's
Like, you have the most
terrifying thought.
Yes, and you have the most extreme version of DID that I've ever heard of.
God, do you? Also, I'm on the roof, mother trucker.
I mean, good for you.
That's all you have to say?
Get off the roof.
I mean, I was gonna say something else, but I decided it's best if I kept my mouth shut there.
I refuse to get off the roof. What you gonna do, Bad Sage?
Get off the roof. I will revoke your housing privileges.
No! Don't do that!
King Bird. Don't be a troublemaker.
The lesson learned from this is don't mess with Sage.
Then why
yeah,
do we
I'm
keep
happy.
doing it?
Because it's fun to toy with death.
The toy with death. Ah, I love it.
Yes, of course, that is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, I can just give you a look that could kill. Just glare at you through a screen and you'd have a heart attack and die.
I believe it.
I believe it.
Oh. I'm not sure if I should be happy or disappointed.
Well, let's put it this way. You're the second most person I fear.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't think that's good.
Yeah, that's definitely not good.
Who beats me out, though? Just out of curiosity?
Mia.
Ah, yeah, okay.
That
she
makes
scares
sense.
me too. Nothing scares me. Except her.
It's the heavy meme. I'm afraid of nothing. That woman? She frightens me.
It's so true, though. And it's funny because we all know she is, pretty nice. Unless you tick her off.
Oh no, she is like sweet as can be, but the second she's angry, all bets are off.
Run for the hills. Run for the hills.
Yeah, run to the hills, run for your life. Which is an actual song. I still should get a striking dummy for our free company house. That we're getting.
Really craftable?
Yeah,
You just want to show off your one-ton punch.
of course I do.
We could get an Alp striking dummy. That's not too expensive. Besides, maybe the field craft dummy materia 3.
No, you mean the thing that I have 20 of because I'm a hoarder?
Okay, never mind then. All we need, other than that, is wolfram ingots, ancient lumber, and whatever the heck a glaze nut is.
Oh god, that is actually done through gardening, the glaze nut.
Oh. Never mind.
I know there's other striking dummies.
I saw the Oriental one, but that one's, well, it requires a glaze nut as well.
And the Faust striking dummy's not much better.
Fun.
Huzzah.
Makes you wonder how much those sell for on the market board. I'm gonna go check.
Quite a bit.
Hey, Bird, why do you need to attack my headphone?
Good question.
Because she is a diva.
Also, I genuinely do wonder if you've seen the reveal yet in the story quest Sage.
Reveal of...
I'm gonna guess his nameplate wasn't revealed. Whomever the fuck ultimately saves Alphino.
Yeah, and I'm face blind, so I have no idea who the fuck that was, but it sounds like he should be familiar.
Oh, he's very familiar, but I did it give a name?
No.
No. Okay, then I'll keep
I
my
don't
trap
think it
shut.
actually. I don't think it names him until like very near the beginning of the next expansion.
It'll definitely name drop him after the next dungeon. Because other
Okay.
people who aren't face blind do recognize him. But even then, you've never seen his face before.
Anywho, the glaze nuts are, you can buy 2 of them for 54k.
Jesus, people are selling them for that cheap, considering all the effort that goes into making the damn things?
Oh, is the burn a dungeon?
Apparently.
It is.
Oh, you unlocked it?
Yeah, I just did. I didn't realize it was this close to the dungeon.
Change your
Otherwise I
plans,
would've
Jared.
popped off of it.
What?
Change your plans.
Uh-oh.
We're helping Sage.
Okay then.
Okay.
We may as well, right?
Sure, why not?
Everybody's the class they want to be.
Yep.
Jeez.
What do you mean you're asking me if I'm ready? I'm always ready.
Well, Sage, what if you weren't?
But what did I just say?
But what if you're not always ready?
Well, then we've got a problem. Like a big one.
Alright, this place.
Ah, bird. No attacking. Just be nice to each other. Fuck.
To the ether-lacking desert.
I get this place confused with the one place in Shadowbringers.
Oh, sudden sandstorm.
It's like the one thing that's consistent here is the wind. Which is weird, considering that wind is also tied to ether, but anyway.
I mean, wind also has effects that can go across an entire planet.
True.
In other words, we're basically in Wyoming here.
I can see it.
I mean, it is a desert. And I don't know about you, but there was nothing holy about Wyoming. That's a pretty awful place.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Watch for rocks.
It whacked the bird. The best way that could have happened.
Good. These birds are mean. They deserve to be whacked. These birds are also made out of stone.
So, in other words, it was not very effective.
They're still part flying type.
That's true. In that case, it would have been somewhat effective.
Oh no,
Forget if that
it still would be
automatically
super
makes it
effective.
Super effective. Yeah, like that.
I didn't play so many hours of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond just to forget about the type matchup chart.
I mean, I don't necessarily get it, I just don't always remember it. You know what I mean?
Kind of. This bowl can be rough, but it's not the roughest one in the dungeon. I thought I hit my AoE.
Ah! Another mob spawned.
Nope. Good reaction dragging it to me, though. Oh yeah, we the best.
Wasn't too bad.
Be the best. Alright.
Oh. That was neat.
I got sand in my mouth.
Well then, why did you have your mouth open?
It was a slide. I went wee.
I mean, I did too, but I have a ninja face cover, so I can get sand.
God damn you.
Yeah. Hey,
Perks
what
of
did you
being a
do?
ninja.
If you get a target reticle on you, put a stalagmite between you and the boss.
Got it. This person doesn't seem to know.
Nope, they do not. They're going to get a stack of vulnerability. Or take massive damage.
They'll learn soon enough.
Put a stalagmite between you and the boss. That
person
time they
got
took a stack of vulnerability.
greedy.
Donut. Oh no, you can still hit the boss even if you're hiding behind the stalagmite. I'm doing illegal tank things. Oh right, that's Tank Buster.
Like
Ow!
what?
Healing people.
Wow. How very dare you, sir.
Yeah, I'm offended.
You're taking Sage's job away from her.
Target. I don't know why that person stacked on me. I feel like they've never done this one before.
Probably not. You don't want to be near a stalagmite with this.
Got it.
We'd actually be in a heaping lot of trouble if we ran out of stalagmites, because he's going to do the unavoidable AoE again. Donut?
Oh, shit.
My healer? Damaged? Absurd. Says the tank as he proceeds to heal the healer. It's like the damage never happened.
Nope, never did.
Kind of like.
Literally me over here. Lay on hands!
Damn it, Mitchell! Stole my boots!
I just rolled greed.
Yeah, you rolled higher. 7.
And then unfortunately I didn't steal them. Ah!
You can still claim it.
Oh, right. One of these enemies is a biff and can start dragging me around like an asshole. Easy peasy.
My birds chilled out and stopped harassing me. To then take a bath and harass me by splashing me.
This sounds like a daily occurrence.
Mostly daily. They don't take a bath every day, but most days.
Interesting. Small army of goblins.
Followed by one big one.
Hello.
Yeah, he's gonna be at that for a minute. I have complete confidence in myself and my healer. Because we are the best.
Yeah, now that I figured out how the fuck to play Sage, this is easy. God damn it, Chaz. He flew at me and threw a ton of water at my face.
So what you're saying is that you're playing Sage, it's easy to the point you had to challenge yourself.
Don't pull the next room, please. Hold on.
Well, Jared's Pokeballing anyway.
Gosh darn it. I knew something was up.
Okay. Oh, I'm back. Fucking. Or Pokeballing, Jared.
Suddenly, death.
It's because he wanted to run into the next room. Oh, is there a cutscene up here?
No.
Or is this... Okay.
I was gonna say, you started Pokeballing too.
Oh, did I? Shit. That's not good.
This is not good. Jared, come back.
I think I'm back. It's like it's doing things, and then it's like, now we can server connection lost. Yay!
Well, you're still Pokeballed on our screen, so it might be a bit of a lengthy login process.
Oh, that's fine. At least it's not as bad as it was during launch of Endwalker, where if I DC'd, that was it.
And then it's back to queue length 1500. Or more.
Yep. Which meant not getting back into the dungeon, which meant I was gonna have to do it all over again the next day.
Fun.
Good old times. I mean, there's still a considerable amount of people in the queue right now, but not nearly as bad.
There's like 20.
34.
Like 20. I do like the music of the burn, though. What about you, Sage?
It's nice. Though I think I preferred the last Primal's music more.
Oh yeah, no, lots of people like her music.
I'm back!
Welcome back. Let's pull this sucker. This defective drone. Damn Allegan technology. Etherochemical flame is, yeah,
Ow.
raid wide. All right, line up with the one that's sparking.
It's nice that it gives you a camera. I haven't noticed that before.
It's super handy, so that way you got time to position yourself. Etherochemical coil, that's single target. Ow. It's also supposed to be a tank buster. Don't be in the same column as those rock biters. Also, don't touch the fire. Fire bad.
Look, my message is don't stand in the fire. I feel like you should remove my healer card if I purposely walked over to the fire and stood in it.
Sage, the Healers Association called. You must turn in your healer card.
Damn it, I guess I'll go back to being a summoner.
Yes, come join me on the DPS side.
Join the
Or you
dark
could go join
side.
him on the tank side. Darn it, I should have been in my Sith player to say that. Oh well.
Considering I am literally every class in the game, what the hell does that make me? Light, dark, gray?
Gray, technically.
I have sought balance and I have found it. Oh yeah, by the way, there's goddamn antlions in this desert sand. Prism!
I see this.
I am Prism. Okay. I don't know if that's like actually a thing in the universe that I was referencing towards, but alright.
Ooh, whoa.
They hurt a bit.
Yeah, I see that.
The more making a joke, you got a little distracted when it was just coming back. Okay. But could you imagine a Prism Jedi?
I'm sorry, I'd riot. If Disney pulled that kind of shit, I'd riot.
I am a Prism Jedi. Lightsaber's just a rainbow of colors.
Oh, man. Look, I
Technically,
like
that
some
would
of
be
what
the
Disney
light.
has done. I've liked what some of Disney has done, and I've defended it. But if they pulled that kind of shit, I'd be like, sorry, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge AoE.
Yeah, and I just kind of ignore it.
Although technically, if you think about it, wouldn't a prism lightsaber be the same as a light lightsaber?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say no, because if it's feeding light through it, it would scatter into a prism of colors.
Physics is hard.
Not particularly?
No, physics is hard.
But not particularly.
No, it's hard. I will stand by that.
The lightsaber is just 6. Red, blue, orange, green, and purple. Arranged in a circle like the color wheel.
Oh, man. I'd be so mad.
Hit the switch, just spin the color wheel, and it just randomly decides which one it is every time you turn it on.
God.
Is that a fucking dragon?
That is a dragon made of mist. It is a reference to Final Fantasy IV.
Ah.
Actually, the first genuine boss of Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, no.
You step forward, you're like, no! Wait, 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 wait!
That's not what I wanted.
I don't want to start the battle!
Too bad, that's what you get.
Rhyme Wreath is raid wide. And it hurts. This is gonna hurt. You'll have to Esna something off me. Fog Plume. Don't be where the arrows are pointing on that thing.
Got it.
We're about to hit DPS check. Don't keep hitting the Mist Dragon, even though it's still targetable.
Don't hit the... Got it.
Yep. Hit the ads that spawn. I would also advise don't walk through the middle. Ooh, come on, we can still pass this. Woo! You can't fall off the edge, thankfully. Have to wait until it's fully formed.
Okay.
Also, you're about to get hit hard. A bunch of us have debuffs, so you can Esna.
Got it.
Ooh, that looks fun. How the hell are we gonna avoid that?
I think I'm at a very dangerous spot here. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That was in a very dangerous spot there.
I got you.
I'm gonna say you can resurrect Jared whenever you can. Deep Fog. Run around the edge of the arena until you see the dragon, and don't be in front of the dragon. In fact, I'm standing where it's safe. You can stand opposite of me on the other side.
Oh. Okay.
I believe he does it again. Yep. You're not in safety. Yep, you're safe now. One of us gets marked with AoE ring. That's proximity based. I'm gonna cover you for the rest of the battle. Because this is gonna suck. It's gonna spam a lot, so stay close to me. But not too close where you also get... Oh, cover's off. Never mind. Maybe don't stand next to me anymore. Okay. It kind of turns into a DPS race.
Yeah, I saw that.
Curse it, Discord.
I do like this Royal Volunteers Gambison of casting. Also, why are we cursing Discord?
Because it distracted me.
Rude!
What does that look like? Actually, that chess piece is not bad.
It's for casters, unfortunately, but yeah.
Ah, damn, you're right.
One more dungeon for Stormblood.
I am so ready to be done with Stormblood, though.
You're like, I've had my fill of this story.
The Point X content has gone on a little too long.
And have they introduced a Calcabrina raid? Yes! They have. It's called the Anti-Tower. You fight 3 Calca, 3 Brina, KO them all, and they merge into Calcabrina. And then, of course, I feel I don't necessarily need to remind everybody that Endwalker features Damun, which is a kind of a plot point of Final Fantasy IV. Damun!
Walking on the moon.
Leaving footprints on Damun.
Breathing oxygen on the moon?
Wait, what?
Well, how else are we able to survive on
Get your anime bullshit out of my anime game. That's not how it was in the original, but doing it how the original was a pain. What with them fusing when one type died and then splitting back into all 6 after a time. Yeah, that would... You could conceivably make that the mechanics, but that's rough.
It would have been interesting.
And I mean, also in the original Final Fantasy IV, if you beat all 6 of enemies, so all 3 Calca and all 3 Brina, the fight would just end. Which, admittedly, is how strategy guys told you the best way to get through that fight was. Honestly, at this point, we are now waiting with bated breath Sage's reaction to the story.
My reaction? Get your anime bullshit out of here.
Well, fine. I'm gonna go hang out in the hot spring.
Have fun with that.
I am. I even switched to my bathing suit.
Good for you.
In the OG English release, he really didn't have a good source of AoE damage. That's true, because they also butchered the fuck out of the original English release. Like, oh, God. Like, they removed... Yeah, you had a paladin, a monk, a warrior, and a white mage to do that with. God. And it was...
Sounds like a pain.
It's not... You have, like, no AoE. Yeah, no AoE. Because the paladin one only learned healing spells. The white mage only learned healing spells. Go figure. The monk Because I think in original Final Fantasy 2, as it was called in the States, which was Final Fantasy 4, don't ask.
Hey, okay.
I think they removed Yang's kick, which was dumb. And yeah, you do get your Black Mage right after the fight.
So they make you suffer.
They
and
make
then
you
are
suffer.
Like, okay, we'll make it better by giving you something cool.
Yep.
That's atrocious game design.
Yang didn't get kick. My god. I know in subsequent re-releases of Final Fantasy IV, he got it back. But it wasn't until, like, fucking DS remake where Cecil as Dark Knight got, their Dark Wave ability, which would take their HP away, but they would also, like, do AoE damage when they were a Dark Knight. Which, I still vehemently disagree with the fact that they removed that in the English release, period. But then again, Square was on their bullshit about how apparently Americans didn't understand RPGs and thought they were too hard.
Why is that a reoccurring theme with Americans? Just, oh no, this is too hard, when it's totally reasonable.
Because America.
I think it was because we bitched and moaned about Final Fantasy 1. Which, in our defense, the magic stat was literally not functional. Looks at Dragon Quest 3. Right. In that defense, that was Enix that published that one. Back before Enix acquired Square.
Wait. Square and Enix were two separate companies?
Yeah.
Those are such dumb names.
Well, back then they were called Square Soft.
That's worse. What the fuck? Okay.
Because they were Square Software. I was making a joke about how much more complex RPGs had already been published and received well. Yeah. And also on the PC, I want to say that there were many a conversion of Dungeons and Dragons into a RPG as well. And
Dungeons and Dragons being converted into PC games, by the way, is an atrocious idea.
yeah. Didn't stop people. As you can see, we have Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 2, and at some point, sometime, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 were atrocious ideas. They were loved for the story, but I can't imagine anyone loving it for the mechanics. Because,
No, that
Wow.
gameplay is fucking, like, garbage.
Baldur's Gate 3, I just don't think should have been done with 5th edition, though.
Technically, they might just have been Square at the time. I don't know when they acquired Sunsoft. Is that why they were called Square Soft?
It's because that's... Oh my god. So, it used to be Square, then they acquired a company called Sunsoft, so rather than going with the better name, they went with Squaresoft, and then Enix acquired them and decided, Square Enix. What?
Instead of Enix Square Soft or something, because they acquired them.
God.
See, I'm of the mind that Enix Squared would have been a better name. At least a more punny.
Japanese companies, man.
Yep.
Sage is doing a whole lot of not reacting.
Paying attention to the story, this
Fair.
is kind of meh. I think I missed something, though. Why Lise invited he into something.
I mean, y'all went out to the burn to go look for Alphino because you heard that the carrier that was holding him got shot down.
Yeah, and we went to go look and did not find him.
I want to say more story is in progress.
Yeah, it is. Oh. What is that?
But then we wouldn't have gotten the fun shortening of Squeenix.
We want to have. That's not. No, that's horrible. Get out of here.
It's like saying names wrong and cursedly.
Like Jareed.
Jareed.
God,
Oh, gosh.
that one's so horrible.
I'm never gonna live that one down, am I?
Nope.
Nope.
Because I'm sorry, but Lucas has cursed you with that.
But I think I started it.
Lucas.
No, it started with Lucas, with him jumping into Discord with us and him realizing Jared was here and him excitedly going, Jared! He did it to piss me off because he knew it would.
At least other companies have more fun abbreviations. Like Nipponichi Software of America is just NISA.
That's cute. Oh, speaking of Lucas, with Overlord coming out Thursday, are either of you interested in playing some Stellaris Thursday?
I've got work majority of Thursday, unfortunately.
Damn.
We'll see. Also, I just realized I'm still in my bikini. There we go, fixed it. What other game companies have fun little nicknames? Other than Konami, because fuck Konami.
Hey, no, Konami had a fun nickname.
They don't. That's the point, because they're assholes, and they've turned, like, all of their intellectual properties into fucking pachinko machines.
Capitalistic scumbags.
Basically.
That's their fun nickname.
Basically.
And if your Twitch stream just suddenly gets striked, sorry.
Konami doesn't fucking sponsor me, and even if they did, I'd still say it.
Suddenly you're banned from Twitch and wondering, what just happened?
Amazon owns Twitch, thank you very much. And
I am aware of that, but I mean, sorry, Amazon has done some pretty dumb things too.
Oh yeah, no, Jeff Bezos is a fucking piece of shit, and, like, Amazon is horrible as a company.
You're not wrong, Jinra. They did start off as a pachinko company, but they should have never mixed it in with the other shit.
They should have kept their video game software branch separate from the pachinko branch. The motherfuckers. Because it's literally turned into that all they care about is money. Like, Nintendo started as a fucking, like, card game and, like, children's toy company.
And now they've grown to be something way bigger.
Yep. And they, in Nintendo's defense, they also still do the toy department.
And cards.
And cards.
Although technically isn't that Wizards of the Coast, or is that the other way?
Is Konami better or worse than EA? Go. On some levels, Konami is not nearly as bad as EA. Because EA does a shitload of nasty monetary, like, monetization practices in their video games. At the same time, though, this is like comparing apples to oranges. They're both pretty bad. Just for different reasons.
But I like apples.
And I like oranges.
Also, you want to hear a fun fact about Nintendo?
I'm listening.
They existed at the same time as the Ottoman Empire for about 66 years.
Oh, yeah.
They're that old of a company.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, they have a long-ass history.
Good for them, I guess, for sticking around for so long.
Indeed.
And giving us the joys that is Pokemon.
You mean the angry frustration that is Pokemon.
Only when it comes to you and Cynthia.
I will die on this hell. Hello, Metal. How is you? Cynthia is such garbage. I love her character. Her team can go die in a fire.
So, in other words, she's the Melania of Pokemon.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually.
When your entire
You know,
team is perfect IV'd and like semi-competitively built, and in the remake worse because they're now having different held items. Yeah, no, go die in a hole. You're not playing fair. You've broken the rules.
I will say I hate the fact that I compared the two, just because I hold Cynthia in a much higher regard than Melania.
God, no, neither of them get a pass from me.
But then again, maybe my hate for Cynthia has dimmed a little bit ever since I managed to beat her with the mono-type water team.
You mean the type that is so common that you could conceivably build a competitive team out of just water types?
Yes.
Nothing unusual. Felt like listening to some stream, so here I am. Thank you for hanging out.
Yes, welcome to the Totally Not a podcast.
Kinda not a podcast. God, no, just... I hate whoever made that decision. That, like... Everybody remembers Cynthia for being tough, but people are now getting more competitively viable. So let's just make her more competitively viable and break the rules of the game even more.
Being honest, I think it would have been a great idea if she was that tough after you've beaten her the first time.
Exactly!
It's like, that would have been a really good end game. It's like, alright, so you managed to beat me. I didn't take you seriously before. Now I do.
And then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Insert Simpsons meme of, what's his face? The son of the cop going, I'm in danger.
Yes. I mean, honestly, we could even just canonically flat out say at this point, the original Diamond, Pearl, Platinum series, that was her not taking you seriously. The remakes, she knows better now.
Why she knows better, even though I know and understand that every Pokemon game is technically a separate universe. God, don't talk to me about Pokemon canon.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that.
It's not
Pokemon's story is dumb.
It's not as fucking mind-breaking as Kingdom Hearts story, in fairness, but it is dumb. Because
I will say, the Pokemon manga adventures made it slightly better.
Well, that's because that's one concurrent story.
Yes, made by the same people. Right over.
I'll be right back.
Oh, gods. Here we go. But yeah, no. Every fucking game is its own separate, like, pocket dimension. Har har, I get it. Pocket monsters. But... I'll scratch that in a minute. But that's why, like, you need a link cable and everything in order to, like, trade Pokemon across games. Because you're trading Pokemon across motherfucking dimensions. Like, I don't understand how, but apparently the people in the Pokemon universe mastered space-time dimension timey-wimey bullshit before they practically mastered the electronic Pokedex.
It's because some 15-year-old went and caught Palkia. Not wrong, right?
Technically not wrong. But this also isn't, like, getting into the fact that, like, this is why, like, Pokemon, like, the different versions have different legendaries, because the other legendary just isn't around in that dimension. Or if they are, boy howdy, are they fucking hard to find.
As a legendary should be.
Right. Or why in the same region, in two different versions, why one type of Pokemon is absent in one dimension, but is found in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm imagining a copy of, like, Palkia and Dialga watching over every trade.
Just they each have their own little badge, saying they're official, they're supervising everything.
And they find a hacked Pokemon. Oh there, Scamp! I can't let you go through. You're breaking the game's code.
Well, gotta send it to Giratina now.
But yeah, no. And then touching on Kingdom Hearts Union Cross's ending is probably the worst bit of lore. God, Kingdom Hearts lore.
I have completely stayed away from Kingdom Hearts.
As you should. As you fucking should. Like, in retrospect, with the introduction of the nobodies, which are bodies without hearts, and the heartless, which are, generally speaking, shadows who hunger and devour hearts to get stronger because of the darkness in hearts. In hindsight, maybe those names should have been flipped.
Yeah.
Like, Maleficent shows up there, but still between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. What the fuck? She was dead between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, though.
Things get so complicated when you try to bring multiple characters together.
Indeed. And remember, time travel is impossible. Then what the fuck? How do we explain? No, you know what? I don't want to know. Aqua time dilation in the realm of darkness in order to not die because of the events of her game take place like 15 some years before the events of Kingdom Hearts 1 or whatever. I don't know.
I'm back. I feel like when we said we weren't going to talk about Kingdom Hearts, you decided to rant about Kingdom Hearts and how stupid it is. Is that what happened?
It's stupid. I won't rant about Kingdom Hearts any longer, but Kingdom Hearts is stupid.
It is. I don't disagree with you.
Like, if you just push all of the Nomura bullshit aside for the story and just focus on the games, they're not bad games. And the first Kingdom Hearts is its own, like, succinct little narrative that's, like, all neatly tied up with, like, a kind of cliffhanger ending for, like, the potential of a sequel, and it's all very neat and tidy. And then Chain of Memories happens. And everything goes out the fucking window. And now I'm done.
Are you actually done this time? Like, done?
Like, done banned from
You know
Xenoblade
the
Chronicles?
answer isn't yes, Jared. You know he'll be back at it in like an hour or something.
Cool. Because while we're ranting, I want to rant about my own thing.
Oh, God. What do you want to rant about?
Mewtwo.
Okay.
Why the heck does he have the ability to create his own pocket dimension? Like, that makes no sense.
Wait a minute. Mewtwo can do this?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense. Like, they're giving Mewtwo stupid powers just because they want to keep with the title of he's the world's strongest Pokemon. And it's like, he was at the time, but not anymore, because now we literally have God.
I was gonna say, the second you introduce Pokemon God, Mewtwo is not the strongest Pokemon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mewtwo cannot conceivably be stronger than God in the Pokemon universe, technically. I don't want to get all philosophical bullshit on that.
Mm-hmm. It's like ugh. Mewtwo is just like, I understand why like people like him, because, you know, again, Red and Blue, first Mega Legendary, basically, right?
Post-game Legendary, even.
Yeah, like, of course people are gonna, you know, put him on a pedestal just like they do Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, he doesn't need stupid powers like that to just continuously increase the point of how strong he is. It's like, yeah, he's strong. Psychic types are still ridiculous no matter what. So,
It's like,
leave him at that.
it's like the power creep in Dragon Ball, if we were to talk about another thing. Because, like, technically, the end of the Cell Saga was supposed to be like the torch being handed off to Gohan, and Super Saiyan 2 was kind of like the peak of power levels, sort of. He could probably get stronger still if he just kept at it. But then they backtracked on that and made Goku the fucking powerhouse again with Super Saiyan 3. Then GT happened. We don't talk about GT with Super Saiyan 4.
I'm so lost in this conversation.
But in short, Pokemon's got power creep issues, and in order to make sure that Mewtwo keeps the title of World's Strongest, they just keep adding bullshit to Mewtwo, so that way Mewtwo also has a power creep problem and is now currently stronger than God. Somehow. I don't understand.
I don't know, I feel as though they fixed the problem with like how strong Arceus is with Arceus' Legends. I don't know.
Genetically engineered to be the perfect Pokemon, indeed. And also, GT technically now hasn't happened, because Akira Toriyama literally said, not canon.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't know what it was, but I know by you ranting about it that it was a good thing that it's not canon.
The only thing that I miss losing from GT is Vegeta with a mustache.
I've seen that picture, and it's fabulous.
Mustache. He also fucking says it weird. God damn Christopher Sabat. I believe that's his name, the voice actor that does Vegeta's voice, who also voices All Might from My Hero Academia.
I will say, Vegeta's voice, I like.
It's a very good voice. Also the same voice as Piccolo. GT had the planet Sting Galaxy scattering Dragon Balls. Oh yeah, it did. Because apparently people used the Dragon Balls on Earth too much that they got corrupted, which is a cool concept, admittedly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the idea of Dragon Balls in general was pretty dumb, but shrug.
It's a giant Deus Ex Machina.
It really is.
Like, there were core established rules of, like, you can be resurrected with the Dragon Balls once, and that's it. But...
Oh, but there's always a way around it.
Yeah, it's the first way around it, oh, we'll just go to Namek, because they have Dragon Balls, and we haven't used the revived once with this set of Dragon Balls yet. Oh, no, the negative karma from all the granted wishes was from something else. Right, because people were abusing the wishes, if I remember correctly. Because I specifically remember, one of the reasons that one of the evil Dragon Ball people were created was because in the original Dragon Ball, when it was a comedy series...
I'm sorry, it was... Never mind.
Yes,
Moving on.
It was supposed to be a comedy series first, with martial arts bits thrown in. Was that one specific wish granted was that the pig character Oolong wished for the world's most comfortable pair of underwear. And he got panties. Japan?
Okay.
Japan?
Never change.
The actual rule from Shenlong was that a specific wish can only be granted by him once. Ew. So if somebody wished to be to have all the world's riches, somebody else couldn't do that again. Oh yeah, the word he used was specifically female underwear. In the original Japanese dub. Because I know in the English dub it was specifically underwear. But regardless, he got panties. And Jared's over here, zoning out.
Okay, I know when to tune him out.
Fair enough.
I've been around people at my work long enough to know when.
But it's shenanigans. The entirety of the Dragon Ball series is shenanigans. Rules don't apply, but Goku is supposed to be like the ultimate representation of breaking through glass ceilings and exceeding past your limits. which tangentially is related to why everybody that says Goku versus Superman is an actual fight are fucking stupid.
I don't even want to think about the comments on that video.
Well, I mean, if, Mana posts this to YouTube, he'll get those comments.
It's still a stupid fight conceptually, because no matter how you look at it, Superman always wins. Superman was created to be a hero with no limits.
Well, Christ. Superman is such a horribly written hero.
I mean, like, I think Marvel kind of had the same issues, like, back in the day, but at least they, like, the people who started making, like, movies and stuff like that nowadays actually fix that stuff.
Generally. Also to catch up on what Jinder is saying. No, someone else could. It's just that if the person lost their wealth, they couldn't wish for that again. Okay, so it's on a person-by-person basis. And the Namekian Dragon Balls originally had the restriction that they could only affect singular things instead. So you could still technically revive somebody from the dead, but it would be the single person. Which after seeing the disaster on Namek, spoiler warning, Namek blew up. They removed that for their new set. Spoiler for a 30-plus-year-old anime. God, I'm old. Or no, 25? It's probably like 25 years old. Maybe. I actually don't know anymore.
Sure, we'll go with it.
More Frieza murdering most of their race. And also the planet blew up. Like, in my defense, the planet also blew up.
Because why not?
God, I also just remembered that, in the new Super anime, Frieza stops going after the Dragon Balls in order to become immortal, and he starts going after the Dragon Balls to wish he was, like, 3 or 4 centimeters taller.
What? I'm sorry, you're gonna go find the MacGuffin, and you're only gonna wish for 3 or 4 centimeters? At that rate, you should wish for 3 or 4 feet. Why would you go and find the Never mind. I'm stopping myself. That is just the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard.
Look, Frieza is a very vain villain. And it is admittedly a worse wish than what Bulma, a core quintessential character in the original Dragon Ball anime, wanted. She wanted to wish for a boyfriend.
Lady, you start by working on yourself first. Look, that wish is not as stupid, I think. But
There.
Oh.
No, what about General Black in the OG series who was seeking the Dragon Balls to cure his baldness? Fair point! There are some vain motherfuckers in the Dragon Ball universe.
Yes, I'm going to find an artifact of godlike powers to grow by 3 centimeters. What? Like, I can't.
Frieza, as much fun as I have with him as a villain, he's kind of a dunce of a villain sometimes.
I think that might have been the point with his answer. But...
And yes, the Super Dragon Balls. The Dragon Ball of Dragon Balls that are scattered across the literal universe. That once unified, you can wish for something that can affect the entire universe. Instead of apparently basic bitch Dragon Balls, which can only affect your world, I guess. And also, the reason they were collected in the, like, Super anime, because God, I don't even remember the specifics of, but I know they were used to, like, give back a universe's, like, Earth and make it culturally similar to the, like, the narrative Earth's universe. So, like, the core focus Earth. Like I said, as it is, in terms of motivation for seeking the Dragon Balls, Pilaf, the starter villain, like the OG main antagonist, had one of the best motives for collecting them. Didn't he want, like, eternal life? Or eternal youth or something? I forget what Pilaf was specifically looking for. Oh, to rule the world! That is admittedly an appropriate usage of Dragon Balls. What is your wish? To rule the world! Yeah, sure, I can do that.
That was easy. I mean, being honest though, if something like that were to exist in real life, you know entire nations would be dedicated to guarding those things.
Oh yeah, no, and I think, like, at points in the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z anime, if people had a Dragon Ball, they were very protective of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to
at
say.
That point, by the time you would have gotten them all, you basically would have been ruling most of the world anyway.
Or you dance the political dance.
Mm-hmm.
The more you talk about this show, the more I realize that it is just a load of fucking nonsense. And I feel like that's the problem with a lot of anime. Is they go for these, like, wacky plots and then don't think of, like, the consequences of their plots and are just like, let's go to the complete illogical extreme.
I mean, in some cases, yes.
Definitely in some cases. Also, an issue that people quickly ran into was that Goku kept the 4-star ball as a family heirloom. Like, every time Goku was around, whenever Shenron was summoned, he would watch where the 4-star ball was going and then jumped up and grabbed it before it got away. Motherfucker cheated the system.
Well, it's Goku, of course he did.
I mean, that makes sense.
Remember, Dragon Ball was originally a comedy show. This is true. And then it became a martial arts show.
Which is just so... Like, why didn't they just keep to the original premise and write something new? Like, why would you just, like, suddenly halfway through the first season or whatever, change gears and are like, ah, yes, now it's a different genre completely?
It,
like, what?
For a decent length into Dragon Ball Z, which was still Dragon Ball in the manga, it was still comedy focused, but they were starting to, like, focus more on the fights as time went on, and then here we are, and now it's all about the fights with bits and bobs of comedy.
And next to no plot. Woohoo!
It was at about 200 of the 350 chapters, so most of the manga. And then it got serious, and I'm pretty sure it got serious when Goku became Super Saiyan. But yeah, in summary, Dragon Ball is silly. It's a fun kind of silly, but it is nonsense. And there's a whole reason. There's, like, Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Oh, nah, it got serious when Toriyama decided to try and explain Goku's origins. You're not wrong, because at that point, it opened up the world of Earth not only to aliens, but also aliens that could pose a threat to Earth.
So in other words, they decided he was Superman, and oh, now we have the Brainiac problem.
Kind of. Because the first arc they got into after, like, the original run of Dragon Ball, when Goku was a kid into being, like, just turned 20, basically, in the series. Once that was over, immediately Earth is visited by his brother Raditz from space, who is a Saiyan, who has the monkey tail, because no other character in Dragon Ball was Goku, in that they were like a human, but they had a monkey tail.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Like, I didn't watch much of Dragon Ball at all, but I do kind of remember that.
Right. No, it's more he is Superman, and there's an entire army of evil Kryptonians out there who are also stronger than Superman.
So, invincible.
Well, I mean, except Goku isn't as strong as, like, baseline Superman, technically speaking. It's just Goku is always, like, brushing up against the floor of where Superman stands, as far as power is concerned. But also, yes, what Jinder said. Because, like, when Raditz showed up, Goku had to team up with his arch nemesis at the end of original run Dragon Ball, which was Piccolo Jr., who we just call Piccolo now.
Who we just call Piccolo now. Okay, sure.
Like, you had to team up with him in order to beat Raditz and rescue his son, and it cost Goku his life. Shit got...
There's so much nonsense in that series that I'm just like, I can't keep up with it.
And you think I fare much better?
Yeah, I do.
I'm the guy who cataloged the nonsensical lore. Like, it doesn't mean I understand all of it. You don't think Goku is life because Goku is stupid.
I feel like that's the problem of a lot of characters that end up dying in media, though. Like, you died, and you had to. No, you didn't. You only died because you were immortal.
I mean, this tactic that Goku used was, Piccolo, use your special charge attack while I hold Raditz from the back and pin him. And Raditz is like, I can break out of this easy. Why am I not breaking out? Okay, you can let go now.
Oh, what the? What?
Also that. Goku grabbed Raditz by the tail partway through the fight, so Piccolo could use his charged attack to kill Raditz. But then Raditz rolled a nat 20 on his deception check, apparently, or Goku just rolled a natural 1 on insight.
I mean, it was probably Goku rolling a 1.
Probably. Because
Nat
Raditz is
20
like...
plus him rolling a 1?
Possibly. Because Raditz is like, please let go of my tail, brother. I promise to be good. Really, I swear. And Goku's like, promise? And Raditz is like, with a cherry on top. And Goku's like, okay, let's go of tail. And Raditz is like, ha, you fool, I lied! And kicks him in the face. It doesn't go exactly like that, but it feels like that. And meanwhile, Piccolo is just over here like, Goku, don't do it. Goku, don't let go of his tail. He's lying. He is clearly lying. Goku? Goku! Goku, what the fuck?
You need to make your own version of Dragon Ball Abridged at some point.
No, I don't, because if I do, I will get copyright struck into hell.
Just post it unlisted. It'll be fine.
Also, look, Goku has like a -10 on insight checks. You are not wrong. Like, he basically pulls the same bullshit with Frieza.
Oh, yeah, I agree, folks. You stole it. Fucking. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm at the part where I'm fighting the Dorthal leader, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And Magnai just showed up, and Y'shtola just gave him this look like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" to something he said, and I'm like, "Yep, I'm right there with you."
Oh, you're at that cutscene. The one that
Y'shtola wishes he would crawl into a hole and die, and I'm right there with him.
Because he starts with, like, "Are you my moon?" And she's like, "I am not." And it's like, "Sorry, little son." She is full of so much sass. I love Y'shtola.
She is one of the best characters in the Scions. Let's be honest.
But yeah, don't worry, Metal. I have enough information for everybody to, like, at least understand a little bit about, like, Dragon Ball as an anime and its nonsense. Whether you want to or not. I also know too much about Sword Art Online, which... Of the three of us here, I don't like, Jared won't touch with the 10-foot stick, and Sage likes.
I've never heard of it.
Just a 10-foot stick?
Wait, sorry, which one?
Sword Art Online.
Oh, okay. It is an awfully written, atrocious show, but I still like it.
There you go.
I can feel the number of viewers dropping.
Somewhere,
No, wait, no.
somewhere, there's a disturbance in, like, the anime force. And all of the
Look.
Sword Art Online apologists are all like, "Who the fuck said what?"
It is an atrocious show. Oh, what? Now I'm playing Y'shtola? The fuck do your ability... Okay. Oh, you're a white mage. Okay. Whatever.
Your only experience with Dragon Ball and DBZ is that fighting game that you tested with your friend some years ago. So, God, that could be any of them, though. That could be Dragon Ball Z Budokai, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, or any of its sequels. Dragon Ball Fighters, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Shit, it could be Jump Force, even. And nobody talks about Jump Force.
You know, I have a funny story about that game.
Do tell.
So, I was hanging out with a friend's house, and another of his friends was over, because it was, like, his birthday party, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he brought up Jump Force on, like, the Xbox, right? No one else knew how to play it. And somehow I got wrangled into fighting against him, and he's, like, put several dozen hours into the game.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not even that good at mobile fighting games. This is never gonna go well. And lo and behold, it didn't go well. I got my butt kicked on every single character.
Jesus.
And yet, I still had to play it because I was too shy to say, I'm done.
Man. God, now I'm imagining Future Trunks watching, like, a clip show of all the Goku fights and just screaming his head off all the stupid choices Goku makes. Goku makes too many stupid choices. And yes, Xenoverse, that game which I beat and don't have the DLC for the first game, never touched the second game, and don't feel like I cared enough to. But back to Sword Art Online.
Oh no. Where's my deafen button?
I've spoken at length about Sword Art Online, and it's just... I think Sage and I would 100% agree. Asuna got shafted as far as the character is concerned.
God, did she? She, like, worse than Minfilia did. Like, she got it worse than Minfilia. Minfilia from the get-go was written terribly. Asuna was written at least somewhat reasonably as a strong, independent character, who then got fucked.
Who then became the damsel.
Yeah, that would... There are a lot of problems with the writing, and that is just sort of the tip of the fucking iceberg.
God, is it? And apparently Progressive doubles down on the shafting.
Progressive?
I think that is the light novel, Sword Art Online Progressive, which is like
movies.
oh,
I don't know that I saw those.
they came out some time after the original run of the anime. I've not seen them either. Neither do I really care to. I like watched.
Go find them.
I watched all of Sword Art Online 1. Somehow forced myself to watch all of Sword Art Online 2. And the two best bits about Sword Art Online is the spin-off series Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online, and then the fourth and final arc of Sword Art Online as a whole, which is Sword Art Online 2's, like, Mother's Rosario arc.
So I only had one season left to go of the entire thing before I stopped myself because I started hating myself watching it.
Oh, God.
I was just like, man, this is getting so atrociously bad, I can't watch anymore. And stopped. About a season left.
Jesus.
Well, now you have something to do over the weekend.
No!
I'm not gonna go back
No!
to that.
I was being sarcastic, obviously.
Progressive's The Light Novels is mostly told from Asna's perspective through the events of Aincrad. You're right, and didn't the light novels also retcon that, like, Asna was alone the entire time up until she, like, got, like, mixed in with the Knights of the Blood Oath? Oh, right. The movies go and say, you know what? We need to justify how Asna... Oh, yes, the movies did that, not the light novels. The movies are the ones that went and retconned, like, you know what? Asna didn't survive alone. She had a male buddy who saved her ass time and time again. And then he died. Which is just, yeah, no. Ginger's right. That doubles down on, like, ruining her character. And I fucking hate it. Oh, it was a female? Introduce a new character for her to rely on. It was a female. Still, kind of undermines Asna's characters.
It does, because Asuna was...
Such a badass.
She was... But the fucking stupid show just kept repeatedly making her a damsel and screwing her over for no reason.
She couldn't be badass, so they introduced female scythe-wielding Kirito. Why?
Try again, little son. Oh my god, Y'shtola. Talk about ripping his heart out and stomping on it. Try again when you become a man. Oh, that line is so great. He deserves
Best
it.
line of the entire
100%.
No, yeah, no, he 100% deserves that. And then off in the background, who else hears this line?
Sadu, who is already relentlessly making fun of it, and we're fighting again. Oh no, we're back to this?
No, they're fighting. Magna is literally like, I will not fucking stand for this.
I'm honestly surprised he was able to do anything to react to her after that.
It was such a harsh burn.
Yeah. It was so harsh, but so good.
The best burn. And good question, man. I don't understand it at all. Neither do I. Why does anybody do anything to fuck with, like, what was good writing? They couldn't just let it slide that Asuna managed to figure out Sword Art Online well enough to survive up to the point where she meets Kirito and basically turns herself into a bona fide badass.
Because there's no such thing as a girl gamer. Ugh. Like, you know that's the logic they used when making that decision.
The
And
worst part
it's
is
so
that
infuriating.
her companion is a girl gamer.
Right, but yeah,
Do note
the current run of the progressive novels ends with Kirito and really.
literally an idea I pondered while like considering how to better write Sword Art Online after the Alfheim arc, because I swear to God, Kirito is too fucking flirty with Shinon in Sword Art Online 2.
It's because yeah, no, Asuna and him should have never really been together, but that was because they're trauma bonded and like all sorts of horribleness.
Right.
But like, I don't know, them breaking up there makes sense, I think.
Oh yeah.
Christ, though. So the writing behind Sword Art Online is infuriating and terrible, but I do still love the show regardless.
The author has apologized on a number of occasions because the man wrote that like a number of years ago, and when it started turning into an anime, he saw the bits that had to be voice acted. He's like, oh God, I am a different person from when I wrote that. Oh Jesus, I am so sorry, voice actors.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Like, say what you will about the writing, the author is still a good person.
I think that's what a lot of people tend to forget is, like, people can write stuff. That doesn't necessarily represent what they believe.
Let's see. So he is currently... Oh, he was born in 1974. When was Sword Art Online? It's 2009. So he would have been... What is that?
Jinder's also posting years. Like, Alfheim was written in 2004. So 5...
You know, I don't know that I respect that, actually, looking at his age.
Huh.
And the reason is by the time he wrote the Sword Art Online light novel, Wikipedia at least is telling me 2009. So he was 35 at the time.
Light novel came out, like, 2004.
Even then, that he's 30.
Right.
And I'm sorry, if you're 30 and still writing characters like that, there's a problem.
Fair.
Was the publishing of a web novel. Oh, okay. So that might... do we know when the web novel came out? Because that would legitimately change my answer there.
I'm pretty sure... I don't remember either. Though you know what a good anime is?
I know a couple. Which one are you thinking of? The first part of it was 2000... 2004. So 2000. That puts him at still 26. Which, I'm sorry, you're an adult. Like, be reasonable towards women.
Fair. The one I was thinking of two initially, but one of them I know you've watched is Assassination Classroom.
Oh, that one's so lovely.
That one's so good.
I love that one. I need to go rewatch it again. I need to make Elaine sit down and watch it with me, in fact.
Like, Koro-sensei is something of a problematic man, sometimes. But overall, the anime is great.
I don't remember anything egregiously problematic, but it has been a while.
The man is kind of an open pervert.
Oh, right. Yeah, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Like, admittedly, there's only one maybe he did do weird things, maybe he didn't scene. But overall, he's, like, looking at porn magazines and very much flirting with adult women. To his credit, it is pretty much just all adults.
You know, so here's what I'll say about that. The fact that we have to give credit and say, yeah, it is at least all adults is really bad and says a lot about the medium.
True.
Oro Sensei Quest.
I have. It's fucking hysterical.
I haven't. What is it?
It's a shorter format show that turns the entirety of Assassination Classroom into like an anime of if it were like a JRPG. But all of the protagonists that went to class 3E all have problems with their character, like bugs and glitches. So they're like, they can't be heroes. So that's why they're in class 3E. And it's a parody comedy version of an already comedy like show.
Okay, so it's a spin-off, basically.
Basically.
Okay.
Though it's kind of great because like it doesn't resolve the same way.
Interesting.
Like it goes through like all the major plot beats and everything. But when you get to the end where you're like, oh, here's the part where this happens in the main anime, instead they completely flip expectations, and one of the characters actually disappeared and comes back like max leveled.
Oh.
And it's like, wait a minute, what? This isn't what happened in the original plot.
This isn't supposed to happen. I don't care what you think. It's happening anyway.
In short, if you haven't watched Koro Sensei Quest, go watch it.
Maybe. I got time this summer, noting that I'm taking the summer off from school, but...
Somebody messaged me. And then the main character triggers New Game Plus on accident. That's a spoiler. Although, when do they trigger New Game Plus? Who knows?
New Game Plus on accident. But,
Indeed.
Let's see.
Oh, goodness.
I love how we literally turned this into a podcast. Our
Shush!
Final Fantasy characters are even
Sitting at a table. I know. I got so caught up in just talking, and like it was entertaining enough to me that I figured to be entertaining enough for other people.
It's fine. It's a Tuesday evening, finals week. People could use a little relaxation like this.
I'm fucking done with my classes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I still have to take biology exams.
Good luck. I forget. What are you going to school for, Jared?
I was initially going engineering, but I just literally yesterday changed my major to be communications and creative arts, so I can do more writing.
Oh. Well, fair enough.
Because otherwise, I'd have to take calculus, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree. Calculus was
chemistry.
where I started hating math.
I would also
Same.
have to take chemistry, and it's like, no.
Chemistry is evil. It is an evil subject.
So much so. Like, we touched on it back early in biology, and I'm like, no.
Get this out of my face.
Yep. Pretty much. It's like, excuse me, what's a covalent bond again? Huh?
Oh, my brain just remembered Food Wars.
Remembered what?
Food Wars. It's an anime. One that Mia would kill us if we let you watch.
Okay, good to know.
God, Food Wars. It started great. Then I fell off the bus.
Why would Mia hate that one? Based on the title, it doesn't sound bad.
Okay, so Food Wars is written by a guy who is very infamous for doing a particular kind of manga.
Oh.
And
Oh, I see where this... Okay.
and though it is technically a food-focused anime, there are some fan service shots in order to emphasize how good the food tastes. Of both genders.
Let's just say, if you want a pretty decent food anime, Restaurant to Another World.
I like how you very quickly changed the subject.
You want another good food anime that's family-friendly even? Sweetness and Lightning.
That is an excellent anime. I love that one.
It really was a very good, like, wholesome slice of life, father-daughter, like, cooking anime.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurant to Another World is great. I'm gonna have to fucking watch that at some point, apparently.
It's good.
The entire
Although-
premise is baked into the title. This is true. This is true.
Mhm. I think when I first watched that, it was basically like last fall, and it was just sort of like something I'd watch coming home after having done school and work, and it was just something nice to sit and relax to.
It's about a restaurant that once a week serves customers from another world.
Yep.
I don't know how much more simple you can get. Oh, Ascendancy of a Bookworm, which I know we've talked about at length on this stream too, and I think we have kind of convinced Sage to look into it.
Sorry, look into what?
Ascendancy of a Bookworm.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting to look into that one. Ascendancy.
Is it one that I can put on my look into list?
Yeah, you can.
Cool.
Ascendancy
Let
of
me
a
do that.
Bookworm. Okay. Fantasy light novel. I'll have. There is an actual anime to this, right?
Yes, there is an
It's
actual
not just
anime.
light novel? Okay.
I need something new. I just finished watching 86, which I say is pretty good if you want to watch it.
Good to know.
So, I just wanted something else to watch, and now I have a thing to watch.
French.
Stretch. Nox is redeeming Stretch. I also need water, and also we've been running at 2 hours.
I just got dinner delivered to me, so I'm just been sitting here chowing down.
Oh,
Actually, I think dinner just showed up for me too.
it sounds like it's not a terrible time to end the stream then.
And nice 2 hours of just sitting and chatting, pretty much. Nothing wrong with that.
We didn't just sit and chat, we also ran a dungeon. We were productive, damn it.
Yeah, and I've been doing the MSQ the whole time.
We also did some crafting,
This is also true.
and now my blacksmith is level 85. Woohoo!
We also bragged about beating Melania, which fuck that boss.
Yes, 100%.
Also
Never
not such a big
again.
patch. I have to walk away from the computer to get water bottles, hang on.
Okay.
Keep my chat entertained.
Crap, I'm bad at improv. I think Sage is off in her own world.
Yeah, watching Thancred describe how we can fight Garthbald.
Oh, that's easy. You just run up and punch him in the face.
Well, sure.
All right. I got back. Chat. Did my friends keep you like entertained? Also, now imagine.
Don't tell him.
There's a boss randomizer.
Yeah, there's an Elden Ring boss randomizer, and yeah, now imagine Melania on a bridge. No, I'd rather not. All she has to do is like catch me at the edge, spin kick me off, and then I'm dead. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah. No, it would be even worse is if she was the final boss of the game. Like a part where you could not beat it unless you beat her.
So one of the required bosses then.
Yeah.
God have mercy on the soul that gets that seed.
Yes.
Like already, if I ever replay through Elden Ring or do New Game Plus, I don't care what challenge I'm doing or what build I'm doing, I'm saying no to Melania and the entirety of the Halleck tree.
Good plan.
Do you note the boss randomizers doesn't have area scaling? Oh, so if you run into Melania, that's it. She is at her full strength.
Oh. Great.
That sounds awful. It's like you... It's like you leave the starting area. Or no. Oh, God. You do the tutorial and Melania is the boss fight to get out.
Oh. Oh, no.
Sounds like a hell of a tutorial.
Wait, technically, isn't there a grace you can warp to before you jump into the tutorial?
I don't... I think you can pick one up for safety's sake, but if you go into the tutorial, I think you have to clear it to get out.
Yeah. Well, say goodbye to that run.
God, yeah, no, you'd have to start fresh. I don't... Unless you were really confident as a level 1 player, I don't think you can beat Melania at level 1.
Let me solo her. Probably could.
God. But you have, like,
Maybe.
boundless confidence in yourself when playing video games.
Yeah, if I did that and I saw her, I'd be like, well, that's it.
People have. Oh, no, I'm aware people have. Because, again, to go back to her, people defend that boss fight as the toxic get good Dark Souls community is wont to do, even though there are problems with her. Level 1 with basic gear and only one button. Jesus Christ. So, like, not even dodge rolling. Yeah, that... No. No, spank you.
Yeah. Like, even if I did that and she wasn't in, like, a place that was locked behind you have to get past her, I'd be like, I'm just not going to that area anymore. That's just it. She can have that place.
And the person who did that said that she is an inexcusably tough boss. Part of that I excuse because she's technically a super boss. Otherwise, I agree. And a lot of it is because she just breaks the game's rules. Like, she animation cancels out of normal stagger, and you can't break her out of hyper armor through stance breaking unless you, like, get a blood loss hit or a, frostbite hit. Like, a successful, like, status ailment application of those two.
Hmm.
And those are the only 2 times you can get her out of, like, most of her, like, I cannot be stance broken attacks.
It's just...
It's dumb. Never mind her waterfowl dance.
Heck no. That thing is so stupid.
Also,
I don't even know, like, watching you fight her, I don't even know how you managed to survive that without running literally all the way across the arena. Because that is the only way I can ever manage to survive that.
That's why I two-handed a colossal greatsword when I beat her the first time, because I would left bumper shield, and then just like dat for the first wave, then dodge roll the second wave, and then dodge roll the final hit wave. Do you know if you stagger her thrice by parrying, you can get a critical strike? That's like most bosses, but yeah, fair.
You would have to be able to parry her.
That's true. You have to be good at parrying.
And she's already fast attacking boss.
Not to say people can't parry fast attacking like enemies. People do it all the damn time. I was good at it and continue to practice it in Dark Souls 1. It's still tough to pull off. But that requires you to also have a shield that can parry, and spoiler alert, I didn't take that in with me for the boss fight, because great shields are great when you're me and you want a sword and board build.
I think Melania as a whole is basically like, doesn't matter what build you are screwed fighting her.
No, that's exactly it. Like, there's very narrow builds outside of, like, cheese builds that can probably fight against her very well, but that defeats the purpose of, like, Dark Souls and Elden Ring's entire design philosophy of being very flexible for the player. And you can approach, like, a lot of fights however you want to approach them. And you will get varying degrees of difficulty. Because that's the thing.
That's why I think games that allow you to allocate points to stats and be able to change that need to have a way, like always, where you can change it if you decide that you made a mistake.
Right. And the respect...
And, like, I know Elden Ring does that, but the items are kind of rare, and you have to beat a boss in order to do it. And I don't think it should be that hard to get that ability, or at the very least, if you lock it behind a boss, make it so it's free, or the materials to do so are easier to find.
A few specific summons are very useful against her. You were telling me about one summon that we don't necessarily have to, like, talk about at length to avoid spoilerinos outside of the critique of a boss fight that we've already done in front of somebody that is interested in playing Elden Ring. That, like, helped you immensely in the boss fight before you, like, went, Mana, I need help!
Technically, I've been saying, I need your help with this boss ever since, what? I died, like, the 20th time, and I'm like, okay.
And that was before I had the game. You were saying, Mana, I need your help before I even had Elden Ring.
That's just how much faith I have in you and your ability to beat bosses like that.
The most useful one is the turret archer girl. Oh, yeah. I forgot I had her.
Oh, yeah, her. Ha! Huh. You
know,
that makes sense.
Because she doesn't move. And she just fires arrows. And if you use the one talisman that I was using, you can probably keep Melania focused on you. Huh. Yeah, that would make it a little bit easier.
But then you would have to be good enough to dodge her waterfall slash.
And looks at self.
In case.
I could have made the boss fight easier for myself, I suppose. But yeah, and that's not getting into, like, cheese strats. Like, people found ways that, like, really cheesed her. But even then, it wasn't consistent.
I mean, hey, if you can find a way to cheese a boss in Dark Souls or any Souls-like game, do it.
Pretty much.
Like, I managed to do it and cheese a dragon fight, and I was happy with that.
there is no wrong way to play Dark Souls. The only wrong way to play Dark Souls is to, like, I don't know, fucking... There just isn't a wrong way to play Dark Souls. I can't think
The
of
wrong
anything.
way to play Dark Souls is to give up.
Well, yeah, actually.
I was gonna say to make a build that literally causes you to die every 10 seconds. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I'm pretty sure you'd be playing the game wrong at that point.
Actually, there was a guy I watched do a playthrough of Dark Souls 1 where he was had the toxic status on him 24/7.
Oh my
at the
god.
highest density.
Oh gosh.
He beat it, so I can't even say that's wrong.
That person has to be a masochist.
There does start to be a
Yeah.
point where you look at certain players of Dark Souls and just have to go, you're enjoying this, aren't you? You're enjoying torturing yourself. And I am the crazy bastard that, though he hasn't touched it in a while, has a challenge run of Dark Souls 1 where I'm doing fist weapons only.
Yeah, good luck with that. Still.
There's a sick part of me that looks at Elden Ring as like, you know, if I start this game over again, I'm gonna rush the Castus, and then I'm just gonna beat the game with the Castus.
Granted, in Elden Ring, you probably have a better shot of doing it as long as you stay away from Melania.
Now do that on a Dance Dance Revolution pad made of pizza. Ew. No. No. No.
That's no. Evil.
No. Even more evil
No,
if it's pineapple on pizza.
Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I do not mind pineapple on pizza.
I'm with you.
It is not terrible. I make jokes about it for the memes, and that's it.
I was combining things. It's still disgusting, Jindra. How dare. Oh, who in the seven hells shall I raid to... Pineapple fits to pizza rather well. Oh no, I am the minority here.
Hey, you can like whatever you want to like. Like, honestly, people are free to like whatever the heck they want.
But in...
Unless you are the weird Florida man who puts kiwi on pizza.
Oh my god.
Apparently that's common in another country. I forget what country, but that is actually a common thing in somewhere.
How has Italy not literally gotten to war to destroy them yet?
Because pizza isn't an Italian invention exactly.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Jeez. Like, in offensive me, I was also that basic bitch that for the longest time I only liked cheese pizza, so...
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but come on, have some spice occasionally.
It's why nowadays I'm mostly a pepperoni pizza kind of guy, but now that just means I'm kind of simple.
To be honest, my favorite type of pizza is barbecue chicken.
I've been bonked by Jindra. Oh, who the fuck am I supposed to raid?
Maybe you should find someone who's playing Elden Ring.
I know I've
we
got
would-
most of the way through that game, but I know not everybody else has. Like, I am at the point where I'm on cleanup. Because the only place I have left to go that has any, like, achievements to get is, like, the final area. And that's for, like, an ending achievement and the final boss achievement. So otherwise, like, exploratory cleanup time. Which I'm only doing because, like, it's bothering me that I've missed some areas, like, in the early game areas, and, in some cases, the late game areas.
Mm-hmm. Well, it gives you something to do.
This is true.
Plus, the best part about Elden Ring is just running around and exploring all the fun different areas.
That's not... That's mostly correct, honestly. Like, Elden Ring is at its strongest when it is as the early game open world game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is both Dark Souls and Breath of the Wild, and those actually make a good mix.
Yeah.
Because if you find you're hitting a brick wall in one direction, that's okay. Go that way.
Yep. Yeah, it makes me wish more games were like that.
Not all of them, though. Variety's the spice of life.
Exactly.
Send my viewers in iLeader's direction, I suppose. Just cuz. Somebody I watch. Somebody we've raided in the past. Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's going to do it for tonight's not episode of Kinda Not a Podcast.
Most confusing title ever.
Totally. Absolutely.
I love it. We gotta make this a thing now.
No, we don't have to. God, we'd run out of topics so quickly.
No, we gotta. We'll do it weekly. We'll have a recording session on Wednesdays at 9 a.m.
Jesus fuck.
Heck, I would even purposely go dig up the weirdest things to talk about just so we could.
God.
I think most of them would take me to Florida. Though,
Yeah, probably.
Thank you, folks, for
Florida's a weird place.
sticking around through this silly malarkey. I appreciate it. Please remember that you're always welcome here at ManasPotion. And I will see you next time. But no, seriously, I don't know if we should do a podcast.
Do it.
We'll brainstorm how we do this